And action! Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Geekheads podcast, where we talk about everything film industry related.
Yeah, and today we are talking about best movie soundtracks ever. Yeah.
Yeah, and reasons why we picked them, and also one specific score from them to highlight from every soundtrack.
Yeah, and so we have both picked three like complete movie soundtracks. So yeah, should we go to the top three, or do you have something?
I just wanna ask before we go that, but do you have like anything like what you think, like, not only that, of course the biggest reason is that you have to like the scores in the soundtrack itself, but like, do you have any other reasons, like what you think makes soundtrack great for the movie?
Yeah, well, good soundtrack, like actually good soundtrack. Of course, it has to feel. If it's not like, it has to be part of the movie. Like some movies have so good soundtracks that if the soundtrack gets removed from the movie isn't. There's no context. Like
yeah, like, I agree. It's super important that the soundtrack kind of completes the movie in a way. It's all the dramatic scenes, for example, it makes them, it gives them even more this dramatic effect. And I like music because music can create a lot of like feelings and stuff, so it's an art form in itself, so it's really important for the movies to have good soundtracks.
I especially like powerful soundtracks. There's many good soundtracks on movies that they're not like powerful. The music is like, the music is good, but like it doesn't maybe make the movie like more sounding more powerful, like make the scenes like more emotional or something.
Yeah.
There's
a lot of like a good, but they are still kind of generic and doesn't like boost the movie itself.
Exactly, like you can make a good movie to a really, really good movie by just improving the soundtrack, like making a really, really good soundtrack.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
There is not so many composers on Hollywood.
There ain't a lot of,
or like well known. Of course, there's like small and like secondary composers and stuff, but
the like all the biggest movies have pretty much the same guys always doing the music, and it just tells that how important it is. They don't wanna make risks with the music or the soundtracks because it's an important part.
Yeah, exactly. Like Spielberg or Lucas with Williams, or Zimmer with Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, exactly.
There's like these couples everywhere.
And there's a lot of recognizable names in our lists as well.
Yeah.
As well.
I would have to say so.
Should we go to the number threes?
Yeah, number threes. Yeah, okay. We could
do I start or
go for it?
Yeah. So my number three is The Godfather, which is for a lot of people the greatest movie ever made, or one of the greatest, which I do agree. Maybe not the greatest. I don't know what is the greatest movie. That's kind of hard to decide, but one of the greatest for sure. And it changed a lot of things in the movie business. So The Godfather, it's a great movie, and it's just a great soundtrack. And the soundtrack has one of the most recognizable scores in movie history. I think a lot of people that haven't even seen Godfather movies knows the soundtrack, and I'm talking about the Love theme.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny. A lot of people think, or I think most of the people think, that it's the main title of the movie or the trilogy, but actually it's not. It's the Love theme, and they have different theme for the main title.
Yeah.
But it's the most recognizable, and it's in a lot of places. The music you can hear it in a lot of places, and I actually, because I play guitar, I've learned to play that song with my guitar. It's one of my favorite songs to play with guitar. It's amazing. It's amazing score, and it's amazing soundtrack. The extra impact the music gives this movie, like we talked about earlier, how important that is. It's amazing. Then again, movie with a bad soundtrack, like we talked about,
it wouldn't be anything.
Considered as one of the greatest.
Yeah.
If you don't have a great soundtrack, the movie, no matter how great movie it is, it cannot be one of the greatest because it misses the huge part.
Yeah.
Part which is the soundtrack. So yeah. So my favorite score is the love theme. And it's also, I think, every single song or every single score in this soundtrack is by Nino Rota. Rota. I don't know how you pronounce that. It's, I think, Italian name.
And there's some. You should have Italian accent for that. So yeah, maybe don't go for it.
I'm not gonna go for it because I sound like a mafia guy, and I'm not saying that every Italian guy sounds like a mafia guy, so I'm not even gonna try it. Yeah, let's go to your number 3.
Yeah, my number 3 is the soundtrack of Avatar. Everybody knows the blue guy is not the airbender. Have the note every time somehow. I don't know why, but yeah, everybody knows what movie I'm talking about. After I know I'm talking about the blue guys. But I'm surprised that when I was doing research, I was super surprised how many people don't even remember what the soundtrack for the movie sounds like. But the complete soundtrack is I just love it. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's like one of those that it's not something that gets stuck in your head necessarily, but it's something that for sure makes the movie even better and even more dramatic.
Yeah, it's good examples of many movies have those themes that stuck on your head.
Yeah, especially old movies.
That can be good thing or bad thing, but I don't know. But exactly the theme of Avatar is it just fits the movie. Let's say like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the soundtrack is composed by James Horner. And well, if you know anything about movies, you should have even heard his name somewhere, because he's also known for making soundtracks or scores for movies like Braveheart and Titanic. So yeah, James Horner is one of these guys who stuck with what's the guy called? James Cameron, yeah, on this movie. So another pair.
A lot of directors have their own.
Yeah, the top one guy to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I just like to know, did you know Braveheart was directed by Mel Gibson?
I actually did know that, yeah.
Because when I did the research, I was like, wait, what? Because I believe I have seen it once. No, I have seen it twice. I haven't seen the movie
it's
twice.
It's so long time ago that I saw it last time.
Me too.
I don't even remember.
But I was a bit surprised. It's directed.
I don't know why, but for some reason I did remember that. Yeah, because he was the main role, but he directed
that's
as
why
well,
I was also so confused. Full length movie where the one of the is it main role? Yeah, main role is played by the director. It's a bit.
Yeah, I respect that.
It's unusual.
A lot of stress. A lot of stress, probably do both at the same time.
Yeah.
Need to focus on acting and at the same time directing others. It's gotta be hard.
Yeah, but let's go back to Avatar. Yeah. I love the soundtrack, like I said, and it fits the movie so well. It has this mysterious, futuristic adventure vibe, and it's kind of amazing. My favorite score from the track is called War. It's track from part where they're fighting. I don't, if the name doesn't give it, I don't know. Yeah, and I just love it, and it's amazing that both sides have their own themes, and when they finally clash, because the theme starts from the prep of the war, they prepare for the war, so the theme is kind of somewhere around it, then picks up, and when they finally clash, the teams kind of mix up, and the scene is pretty intense. 12 minutes. It's 12-15 minutes full of just people fighting. So
yeah.
Have you even seen Avatar yet?
I have seen it once.
Yeah.
I've seen it once. I think I was like, I think I was like 14 or something when I saw it first time.
Yeah.
13, 14 or something like that.
Yeah, I remember seeing Avatar first time when it was like rated for 12-year-olds or older, but I was like, it was like the theater policy was like 2 years younger with parents can go, but I was 3 years, so I had to close
Badass.
up. I had to put some
Criminal.
like older looking clothes, so they didn't like ask or anything, so I went with my father's seat. Was pretty hyped after the movie, yeah. And yeah, also about these franchise movies, like our list don't have these big. Well, I have maybe they're considered, but my top one maybe considered franchises, but not like these top franchises, like Pirates of the Caribbean or Star Wars. We don't have those soundtracks on this list.
Yeah, I forgot to talk about that. I just wanted to mention that, at least for me, probably for you too, the reason why I didn't pick that is because they, trying to pick one from all of those movies. Like Godfather I managed because, well, the 2 and 3 kind of just uses a lot of the same scores also, so it's just the Godfather one. It was easier, but because, for example, Star Wars and Pirates of the Caribbean as well have their own scores for different movies, and all the soundtracks are unique. So it's like trying to pick one that I like the most from all of those. Like, it just gave me too much of a headache, to be honest. So yeah, there's a lot of great soundtracks, and I just wanna note them here. I just wanna kind of, I don't know how would I say this, but yeah, I just want to mention them here because they are we haven't forgot them. They are great soundtracks, and there is plenty of great scores in all of those movies, but it's just too hard to pick one soundtrack, so that's why we don't have them here. And I think it would be too generic answer. I think if you watch any like, I don't want to hate on anybody or any other YouTuber, but if you watch any like videos or articles where people talk about the greatest soundtracks, there's always Pirates of the Caribbean and Star Wars, and we just wanted to have something else. So
yeah, like we are not disrespecting like John Williams or what is it, Klaus Badelt or Hans Zimmer.
Yeah.
Or any of those people who made
they are
those tracks. The soundtracks are so great. We could have just filled both of the lists just.
Yeah, easily. Easily, I mean, the whole list could be just Star Wars themes or scores, or just
totally,
even like just Pirates of the Caribbean scores. There's so many great ones. That's the reason. If anybody was wondering, or waiting, I'm sorry, but we ain't gonna have Pirates of the Caribbean or Star Wars soundtracks here.
Next, actually, let me ask this question from you. What is the most like recent or the newest soundtrack you have like found and you have like loved? I don't know if you just listened like 10 minutes ago or while listening to this podcast or something. I don't know. Like when we were recording, if you find some soundtrack like, but. Yeah, for the viewers, if you comment down below, what is your newest favorite soundtrack? But I'm asking you now, what is the latest favorite?
It's I gotta say honestly, hard question to answer because I haven't seen any recent movies with soundtracks that would have been anything special lately. So, but one. Actually, I'm gonna go with the Netflix series called The Rants.
Okay.
If anybody knows, there's the people at least who are like me and watch every single Netflix series there is, then you might know. I'm gonna go with the Rants, not because it has some greatest scores ever, but because I love the uniqueness of the soundtrack. So yeah, on the other hand, the soundtrack is amazing. Well, unless you hate country music, because basically the soundtrack is list of great country songs.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of different country songs from 60s to all the ways to these days, like the newest country songs. There's a lot of different songs. So it doesn't have like these, it's not a regular soundtrack with regular scores. And yeah, all the episodes have their own like special songs, or all the episodes have their own score for them. And the episodes titles are based to the song titles.
Okay, so
which I think is a great idea.
That's a style of. And, I don't know if the episodes are kind of written around the song. I bet maybe not, but that's one style of writing I like to do. Is also like pick one song for the like main theme or something, and just write a script around one theme.
Well, they have kind of mixed. They have done like the story itself, and then they have picked like songs to fit the story.
Fit the story. Yeah.
But they have. Yeah, but they have done it the other way around because
of course it's easier.
Ashton Kutcher, who did he acted as well, but he produced this movie or was one of the producers. Yeah, and so of course, so he talked about how they had few like these classic country songs that they wanted to put in the soundtrack, so they kind of made the story around those songs, which I think was a great idea and fantastic. And I actually never seen that in any series before. And also, I love how most of the soundtracks have been put into episodes, like the characters or the scores have been put in the episodes, like the characters are listening these songs from the radio, which adds even more to the scenario. That they are, it's like great way for them to, for example, when they are going from scene to scene.
Yeah.
It's like the music goes, you hear the music like it's a score, and then it's kind of fades and starts to sound like it's a radio song. And and then it's like in the background that they are listening from the radio. And I think it's a great idea. I think that's fantastic way to put the soundtrack sounding like realistic, or I don't know how to say that any better, but you know what I mean. Like it's not like why there's country song here, but it's like they're listening country songs because they are from country. But I just have never seen soundtrack being used like this cleverly in any series before, so that's why I'm gonna mention that one. Do you have like any latest favorites?
Did you have any specific score? A score for the?
Oh yeah. This is a song that a lot of people don't know. It's small. It's not like a classic song, but for some reason I just love this song, and it's just something. It's just so great song. I don't know why. It just hits me. So it's Still Missed Away by Molly Parton. It's a small time artist, at least for now, at the moment, and a lot of people don't know. So that's one of the reasons as well why I want to mention her, because I think I think she deserves all the recognition.
Yeah. Latest favorite. My latest favorite has to be, well, it's one of my all-time favorites, I have to say, but I don't know how it didn't make on the main list, but it's the soundtrack of Kung Fu Panda. It's an animated one. I don't know if there's live action one. Hope not. Please no.
Hope they're not gonna make
and the score is from Hans Zimmer and John Powell. Two really great composers, if you can title them as that. The Kung Fu Panda score is just absolutely amazing, considering it's for kids movie, I have to say. It's and why I picked it as my latest favorite. I saw the movie like week ago, I believe.
Okay,
yeah. So I was like, oh yeah, this score is kind of good, so I just put it on the list. Yeah, and I could have maybe fit it on the main. I don't know, not maybe on the main top 3, but it's kind of good. It's kind of good. The whole soundtrack is kind of good, and of course, my favorite track has to be Oogway Ascends. Like it's just kind of powerful, and the whole score is it's just all around and really powerful and intense. I have to say, kind of. Yeah, if I didn't know like the movie or didn't know actually the soundtrack, I would have like somebody would have played to me. I would have guessed it's from like some type of like adventure movie, like could fit like Mulan or something. If I didn't know what the soundtracks on those movies sound like, I would have totally not guessed this soundtrack is for animation movie, but. Well, I'm not surprised it fits. It's so good because it's like Zimmer and Powell. They're, I don't know. They're not. They're more of. I don't know actually about Powell, but Zimmer does more. At least these days, does more mainstream music than or mainstream movies than. Well, Kung Fu Panda is kind of mainstream movie, but it's still animated, so.
It kind of became a mainstream.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those recent animations that could. Almost like called classics, or could easily can be called classics.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah. I actually just talking about movies that is not a recent movies, but that I've seen recently. I just wanna fastly. I'm not gonna talk about it like much, but I just wanna mention The Lone Ranger that I watched like a couple of days ago.
It has pretty solid soundtrack.
Yeah, and I remember that being also by I think it's by Hans Zimmer as well. Yeah, at least partly, and and one score is the final score, which the name is Final.
Yeah,
and it's based on the old theme William Tell Overture.
Yeah,
it's a great like this cowboy song. Score.
Oh yeah.
It has a great soundtrack. I like the soundtrack a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all the scores in the soundtrack is fully by Hans Zimmer. But yeah, that's just
an extra note. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you haven't listened, then go listen.
Yeah, we should we go top 2s?
Yeah, number 2s. I can go first.
Yeah, you can go first.
So I have a classic movie with a classic soundtrack.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's kind of underrated soundtrack, honestly, for a lot of people. Like, it's not something that, if talking about great soundtracks, it's not something that everybody mentions like right away. When usually people talk about like we said, Star Wars, maybe Indiana Jones, Pirates of the Caribbean, stuff like that. But a lot of people don't mention, but Gladiator.
Oh yeah.
Which is what I'm talking about. In my opinion, it's the greatest Russell Crowe's movie, or where he's the protagonist. It's an amazing movie, and the soundtrack is just as amazing.
Yeah.
Usually, yeah, I don't know. It's just there's not for me to talk about. It's just it has a couple of these songs that at least I recognize easily, or at least one, which is my favorite score from this, which is Now We Are Free.
Yeah.
And then they have then they have a song that a lot of people think that it's the same score, but it ain't. This other score is Honor Him.
Oh yeah.
Honor Him, and it's like it's apart from this. It's kind of like it's like apart from this score, Now We Are Free, which is why I picked it, Now We Are Free, because it's the main score for this movie.
Yeah.
The Honor Him is kind of like instrumental part or without the singing. So
Yeah.
and it's much shorter. It's like a minute or something. And Now We Are Free is 4 minutes. But I think it's something that people don't remember, or at least don't remember the name, but when they listen to the score or the soundtrack in general, but especially this score, the Now We Are Free, and when they listen to the most memorable parts of the score, they almost always, who have, especially the ones that have seen this movie, remember the score. So yeah, it's a great great soundtrack, and I think it's really underrated. It deserves to be in this list for sure.
Yeah. Actually, I think there's a like version of the Gladiator score. I think it's fitted from this or something, and like I don't know if it's cover or something. It's like sing by Luciano Pavarotti. He's rest in peace. Great like opera singer, because I feel it's from the same score.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that like his version Il Gladiatore, you can find it on Spotify or YouTube. I feel it's like I didn't do my background on this. This came up on my mind just a minute ago. So
but it tells a lot about the score. That it's a score that a lot of people and musicians wants to make their own version of it, whether it's orchestra or just with piano or people like playing with guitar. And it's a song that a lot of people likes to play, and it's a beautiful song. So I no wonder.
Yeah, Gladiator soundtrack is just solidly good. It has a lot of these like.
I think it's one of the best like complete soundtracks from Hans Zimmer, and it's really underrated.
Like Hans Zimmer has lot of really good soundtracks, but they're good just because there's like couple of diamonds in them, and then there's like a good, solidly really good other soundtracks. But Gladiator, it has lot of these. Yeah, Gladiator has a lot of these, like actually just really good themes, or like scores. Themes are
honestly,
bad word to use.
Gladiator is one of those soundtracks that when the soundtrack wants you to cry, it makes you cry during the movie. And
but it is pretty emotional movie.
It is really emotional movie, but even the scenes that doesn't have a lot of this emotional build-up, or something sad happens suddenly, and then it needs to be dramatic right away. I don't wanna spoil, of course. Well, it's an old movie, so I don't know. I don't know why I will care that much. But anyways,
not technically that old.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people who are listening this probably have seen it. But just in case somebody hasn't, I don't wanna spoil it because it's a amazing movie. So. Always when if there's a couple of scenes where something dramatic happens quickly and you need to be, and it goes from this happily thing to very sad, very sudden, and I think the soundtracks does a great impact, and it helps the viewer to get in the right emotion when needed. I think it's a amazing soundtrack.
Yeah.
So we go to your number 2.
Yeah, I believe we should. Yeah, we have still lot to go. Yeah, my number 2 is by Hans Zimmer, and it's the soundtrack of Interstellar. And well, yeah, the movie would basically be nothing without the track, I feel, because I kind of feel the soundtrack is the one part, really big part of the movie somewhere. Because the movie is kind of like this, like it has a lot of these like ambient themes. So there's like, of course, it's a space movie.
I gotta say, I haven't seen this movie fully. I have seen just part of it, but so I can't really comment. I should really watch this movie when I have the time.
Yeah, I feel. Yeah, it's one of those movies where you have to just watch and focus, because there's like some details, if you miss them, it's kind of.
Yeah. Well, it's a basic Nolan movie, so it's like if you miss like 5 minutes of it, you don't understand the rest of the movie. Basically,
basically. Yeah, but the whole soundtrack is pretty intense, and it's pretty intense just where it's supposed to be, and it kind of feels like airy, spacious, like has this like ambient feel, because the movie is in space, like I said, or mostly is in space, and that is just amazing. Like I said, I feel the score is a kind of perfect fit for the movie, and Zimmer made amazing job. And it's like has this, it's kind of ambitious, it's kind of like meant for being a background movie. It's not supposed to be, but like there's parts of the movie where the score is like you are just seeing like these images of like it's pretty like empty space or something, and there's like little spaceship middle of but the score is going crazy on some parts.
Okay.
And yeah, I picked them as my favorite score called The First Step. There's a lot of the scores. I was like going back and forth with many of the scores, but I picked First Step just because I felt it had most of like piece of everything on the one. So like, and the reason why we are giving these like favorite scores, so if anybody wants to go listen and have some idea what we're talking about, so that's. So there are good recommendations also. I believe we have some links on description if you haven't realized yet. Yeah, like you haven't seen the Interstellar movie. It's pretty. Like many of my friends say, or one of my friends says, it's pretty one of the best movies, and I feel it's one of the best movies still.
Like in general. Like all time.
Yeah, in general, yeah.
Well, it's at least said to be one of the best Nolan movies, which tells a lot because Nolan has a lot of great movies. So
yeah, Interstellar is pretty high on IMDb top 50 also, so that tells a lot. And I think they won pretty many awards with it. There's a main instrument on the score, I believe, is either piano or church organ, and I have seen one of these like because I have it on Blu-ray, the movie. So there's like this behind the scenes where they go compose or test the soundtrack on like church organ somewhere. They like travel somewhere and like test listen this like, and they're like no way they like organist or what should I call it? Pianist? No. Or it has to be organist. They're pretty sure that it's impossible score to play, and they're like, okay, let's go listen what they say one of the best organists can, like, let's see how far he can play, and he just blasts through the whole soundtrack, and they're just jaws on the ground, and they're like, holy shit, it's just amazing. But yeah. Yeah, you don't have you cannot comment on my. So
I cannot really comment. I just know that Christopher Nolan is a great director. So, and Hans Zimmer of course, making the soundtrack or composing it. I really need to watch this movie at some point, sooner or later.
Yeah, but we should.
Before we go to our number ones, I just wanted to ask you. Well, do you have like any like favorite soundtrack, that you had when you were a kid?
Oh, that's a good question actually. Let me think.
This is not easy question to answer. There's a lot of soundtracks.
Yeah, favorite as kid, I would say, okay, one track that comes instantly to mind is the soundtrack from the first Transformers movie. And I know there's multiple opinions about Transformers, and I think they're decently good. The first movie is better than the last ones. I don't remember even seeing all of them.
I have only seen the first one.
Oh, really?
Honestly, maybe the second one.
I saw fourth one on the theaters. Then I've seen the second and the third at least once on TV. But I found out there's fifth and maybe sixth, so I was like, what?
Well, to be honest, I don't remember which speech, so it's hard for me to tell. I just know what the first one is, and I know that I've seen that, but. And maybe one other, but I don't remember which movie it was. So.
But the Transformers. Yeah, I remember seeing this movie a lot, like as a kid, and I kind of loved the soundtrack.
Yeah.
I loved the movie as a smaller kid, and not so much anymore. I can see it's kind of bit. I more love the soundtrack. It has so many good pieces, like. It's just so many good, and it was pretty hard to pick one, But my favorite, I believe my favorite score from the soundtrack, and the soundtrack is, by the way, composed by Steve Jablonsky. I maybe butchered the name, but I don't know. And my favorite score is called Scorponok, and it's just like I feel it's kind of amazing to listen, and it fits the movie. Like it's, of course, we are fighting Transformer movies. Like this theme is like. Well, it's from early of the movie. It's from the scene where there's the like special forces guys fighting this like scorpion ass looking Decepticon or something. I don't know. So it's pretty intense because there's like humans fighting a robot which is trying to kill them. So it has many parts from the other scores also. So that's why I also like them pretty much.
Yeah, so it's like a mass up from the whole soundtrack.
Yeah, or it has at least some parts that are common on the soundtrack, let's say like that.
Okay, yeah.
There's a lot of good scores like Arrival to Earth and Autobots is pretty good. But yeah, Transformers. I remember just humming the full soundtrack of Transformers as kid. I kinda like.
Yeah, I gotta say for me, I've seen the first movie a lot of times, many times, but I don't necessarily remember the soundtrack that well. So maybe I should watch it again at some point, or just listen to the soundtrack at some point. I don't know,
But yeah, should we go to top ones? Or no, I didn't ask. We didn't. Yeah, for viewers, write down comments. What is your favorite on kids? Write a new comment or something. But we have to go through if you have one, because I certainly know you have something, and I believe I know what it is, but I'm not going to say it. But let you.
Well, I think you know. I have one that I have to pick. It's gonna be like a common joke, inside joke for this channel when we talk about things that we like when we were kids or movies we like when we were kids, and it's The Lion King, which is my favorite movie when I was a kid, and it's still my favorite animation movie. And yeah, The Lion King, it's just the soundtrack is full of amazing scores that people know even if they haven't seen this movie. I don't know even how it's possible unless you're like super young right now, and you know, I don't know, but if you're like our age or even older, I don't know how it's possible that you haven't seen this movie at some point or heard these songs at least, or a couple of these scores at least. Yeah, I mean, The Lion King, it's just the soundtrack is just as classic as the movie, and
yeah, it's pretty good.
I mean, it's full of great songs. Like, I'm just gonna go through like half of the soundtrack fastly because a lot of you guys who are listening probably know most of these songs. So there is The Circle of Life, Lion Sleeps Tonight, Hakuna Matata, for example.
Yeah.
Or, Can You Feel the Love Tonight? It also.
Yeah, the score has a lot of these like singing ones. Of course, it's an animation movie. If we are not talking about the musical. Jon Favreau Disney new one, but yeah, if you're talking about the classic, it totally has a lot of this like song schemes. Yeah,
and a lot of the actors actually also.
Oh yeah.
Or some of the actors are actually singers.
Yeah,
and,
pretty.
Voice acting, so that was cool too. And the movie also actually has one of my favorite, if not even the favorite, scores for the villain. Like specific score for the main villain, which is Be Prepared.
Yeah.
And it has this great scene where the main villain Scar sings it, and it's a great score as well. Sven mentioned that as well. My favorite score, damn, that's hard to pick. Probably Can You Feel the Love Tonight. Also, I want to mention something, a score that I haven't mentioned yet, which is I Can't Wait to Be a King. It's also a great score. So it has a lot of scores. I recommend you just go listen to full soundtrack because it's so hard to pick one that you might like. So great songs that I loved when I was a kid, and still like, and half of the scores are on my own personal Spotify playlist as well. So it's like songs that
I'm not surprised.
It's fun to listen, like even just no matter what you're doing, it's just fun to just listen on the background. It's a great lot of great songs. So yeah, that would be my favorite as a kid. One of my favorites.
Yeah.
Even now. So it could easily be on my list, or if I would have like top 5 list, it probably would be there. So that tells a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much.
Wanna go for number 1?
Yeah. We can go for number 1. Do I go first? Or?
Yeah, you can go first. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'm gonna go something that is a little bit different than any other on our lists.
No, not
and
really,
I'm gonna go with The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Oh yeah.
Which is the last movie of the legendary Dollars movie trilogy. The first one where I try to remember from the top of my head. I think they were Fistful of Dollars and For a Few Dollars More.
Yeah.
Are the first 2 of the trilogy. So yeah, it's Ennio Morricone at his finest. Yeah. Rest in peace. First of all, I think it was
RIP,
even this year that he passed away.
2020.
Yeah, it's a sad year.
God damn. Okay,
it's
that my voice cracked there, but okay.
So yeah, 2 of the top 5 scores from Morricone, first of all, is in Spotify are from the soundtrack alone. And he has a big list of scores from different movies, like just for example, Once Upon a Time in the West is one. And it's this movie, it's a classic Western film. I think and this trilogy itself is like father of Western films in a way.
Yeah.
And and it's like it's a trilogy that put Clint Eastwood on the map, I think, and made him the god of Western movies that he is. So it has so many legendary scores, like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly itself, The Sundown, The Strong, The Story of a Soldier, my favorite, Ecstasy of Gold.
Yeah.
Which the Metallica made cover as well, so some hard rock or metal fans might know that. And the main title, The Trio, which may be less known compared to the Ecstasy of Gold or the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly scores, but it's a great score as well. So it's full of amazing scores and a great soundtrack. There's so many songs from this that I would like to learn to play with guitar, but they are super hard to play. But it's I don't know what else to say. It's just an amazing movie trilogy, amazing movie, amazing soundtrack, and amazing scores.
I don't know if I have seen the rest of the movies. I have seen Good, Bad, and the Ugly one. But
I truly recommend to see the whole trilogy. I remember I don't remember in which streaming service, but I watched them like back to back in the same weekend, like one movie a night. And it's amazing trilogy. And there's nothing else to say really. Do you like?
Do I like to note something?
Do you have any notes for this?
It's a great soundtrack.
That's like
that's it.
There's not much else to say, but
okay.
Should we go to your number one?
My number one.
Last one on our list.
My number one. Oh well. My top one is the soundtrack created by Legendary. It's fun that we don't have any of other his scores. We have like 2-3 singers. Yeah, but we don't have any John Williams here. God damn. Yeah, but it's the legendary John Williams and the legendary. Well, I don't know, legendary, but it's kind of well known. I have to say,
it's a classic.
Well, it's a classic. I have to say, the soundtrack of the movie Jurassic Park. And
welcome to the Jurassic Park.
Malcolm. Yeah, exactly. Oh, Rip Richard Attenborough. The grandpa. He died like
rest in
a
peace.
few years back. Yeah. Rest in
I
peace.
hope that someday I can live to be 90 years old as well.
Yeah, that's not just. It's only British people who live past 90s. I don't know. That's some.
So that's at least what
They
it
put
feels
something on the tap water. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Jurassic Park. Yeah. We're not well. The movie is great, yeah, but the soundtrack, yeah, of course, the sound. Well, of course, the movie was one of my favorite movies as a child, or my favorite movies as a child, and it's still on my top 10 easily. I saw it 3 days ago. Came out of TV, like started like 11 o'clock or something. I was like, what the fuck? And then okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it till 1 a.m. or something. I don't know. Yeah, and the movie and the track are still amazing to this day. It's just amazing. Like and like Jurassic Park, the movie, it's just like it's adventure movie, but like you would. I would classify it as a horror movie, like we talked about on the horror episode when we did the research, and there was like a lot of Jurassic Park and Jaws there, and it was like why are these here? But now like when I saw the movie like 2-3 days ago, I can completely agree. It is a horror movie after all. There's a like of course. First, it starts on this like adventure kind of vibe, and they like amazing, but
it is just horror movie. It's I don't know what else to say. It's full of jump scares and stuff.
After all, if you think there's like raptors chasing people, and there's the Tyrannosaurus just causing havoc, and and it's just like, come on, that. The soundtrack is just it's powerful. It's powerful on the like adventure side and really intense on the horror side, you know.
Yeah.
And think about adventure and horror on the same track and even on the same movies. Well, I don't say it's rare, but it's kinda I don't know, but in this case I just so love it. And yeah, my favorite score. It's good note to have good note to have a favorite score. Yeah, my favorite score is absolutely Welcome to Jurassic Park, and why? Well, basically because it's just a piece with everything mashed up in same. I don't know what even else. It just has everything from the main score on it, I believe. Maybe not on the most intense parts. It's maybe on the like horror side. It's maybe a bit missing, but on the adventure side, yeah, it has everything on the score.
Yeah, it's something like it. Even if it's like almost 8-minute score, but it still kinda goes past like super fast.
I'm not sure if this track actually Welcome to Jurassic Park called score is actually on the movie, but it's on the soundtrack, and it's just amazing. Well, the whole soundtrack is amazing, but of course, the one score, which is basically the whole soundtrack mashed up, is amazing as well. Yeah. I could talk about this for a long time, but I think you and everybody should just go check it out. And every of these scores, what we have talked about, the links.
Yeah.
Down below, I think we can link if they are possible to find on YouTube. We can probably link them down below, and yeah, you totally go check all of these like out. And if you haven't heard them for a while, or if you haven't heard,
like at least the favorite scores.
Yeah.
If you don't have any more you want to say about that score, then that's it with the lists.
We could talk for another hour, but I don't think it's smart to go for another hour. And
yeah, if anybody wants us to make episode 2 where we list another 6 soundtracks that we love, then or if anybody wants us to make episode about the Pirates of the Caribbean or the Star Wars
franchise soundtracks,
we can probably make that as well. But yeah, I wanna thank to everybody that is still listening and didn't leave when we started to go off track in many times of this episode. But I think it's part of
It's part of the podcast. And
Yeah.
I have one thing. I just realized this thing about this list. Both of our lists. It kind of shows what type of themes we're listing. Because if you like look at your list, you have Godfather, the scores from Ranch TV series, Gladiator, Lion King, and Good, Bad, and the Ugly. Like your actual top 3 list is basically like back on the time, like that it like those scenes, like they could be realistic. Your scores are pretty like real, and they're like Gladiators, they're real thing, and Italian Mob is a real thing, and West,
Wild
West, like Wild West is
Wild West.
Wild West is real thing, and like Ranch is just people on ranch. Well, Lion King is realistic. Well, I could say Lion King is even its animation movie. It's realistic because it doesn't have like this, like my part where the Kung Fu Panda where it's fighting animals. It's with like replaced humans.
And then beside that you have a lot of
because my like looking at my teams,
fantasy.
they're all sci-fi. At least they're like super futurist,
sci-fi or fantasy.
Yeah, they're fantasy or hyper-real. No, not hyper-realistic. Like futuristic, super futuristic. Like Interstellar is futuristic. Avatar is just, it's just could be just next movie.
I would almost say it's a fantasy.
Jurassic Park, dinosaurs on this planet, Transformers, freaking living robots on this planet. But is that it? No.
Yeah, I think that's it. This is probably even. I was surprised. I thought this would be like one of our shortest episodes, but this is actually probably gonna be one of our longest episodes, if not the longest, for now at least. But yeah, a special thanks to everybody that is still listening and that is listening till the end. We really appreciate these are long, and podcasts are long, and but yeah, comment down below your favorite soundtracks or favorite scores.
Yeah.
Anyways, if you like this episode, well, hit the like button. Also, if you wanna listen more from us, go check our other podcast episodes. Go check our full podcast playlist.
Yeah.
And if you wanna see our future videos or future episodes, whatever we are gonna do, probably we are trying to do a lot of Star Wars and MCU related because we like Star Wars and MCU a lot. And if that's what you if that sounds interesting at all, subscribe and maybe hit the notification bell if that does anything anymore. I don't know how is that still like, I don't know, there's been a lot of stuff going on with that, but anyways, thanks for we no more random stuff. Thanks for listening, thanks for tuning in, and have a good day, the rest of the day, whatever time of the day it is while you're listening to this, and hope we're gonna see you in our next episode.
Bye.
Cheers, goodbye.